to another video of Maplestory 2. Today we're going to be covering up the solo part of Pyrros Dragon, or Fire Dragon. So Pyrros Fire is going to be done with Berserker. Obviously you can lifesteal and use a little bit less of your potions. I do have them stocked up in case I need to use them. I will also showcase the spots where you can take 0 damage from the second phase, and I won't be talking much, but I will leave some comments now and then, or just do some ranting or whatever. But this will also cover up some tips and tricks in the battle, and I won't have any timestamp for that when it regards to certain tricks. But I would say right now, when you unlock the holes under the boss, for the boss when you fight him, in the first phase it's happening after the second shout. You can hide under the holes and spin, or use Void Slash to deal damage. However, I'm gonna do this as a normal person would do, attack him on the same level. And for the second fight, there's gonna be holes as well to spin or use Void Slash. That's only going to be used as a filler whenever he uses a laser move. Other than that, we're going to stay on the same level, same ground and DPS.
I'll take on anyone, anytime.
So going for the build, groundbreaker build, as I showcased in the previous video or in my other videos regarding which build I prefer. This fight is heavily, well, I prefer having extra knockback immunity, and that's going to be a very good advantage against this boss. Same thing with Balrog. When you do Balrog, when you kill minions, you're gonna kill faster with Groundbreaker than what you do with Void Slash. So keep that in mind. We're going with the burst build. For stats, we're going strength, and that's it. Obviously, I do have the gear with me that I farmed enough so I can at least have a faster run when I solo. Another thing that I would mention, I did get some information that there's been a video already regarding Berserker soloing it for 20 minutes, and that's because he has a better enchanted weapon. So for this, we're going with basics. We're only having the basic items with no enchants on them. So we'll see how long it takes, and it's already been 2.5 minutes talking. So without further ado, I'm gonna go in, do my thing. Hopefully you guys will see some some gameplay and some rotations. I won't mention them, but it's going to be a little bit more silent battle, so I can focus a little bit myself. Going off with the machines, for example, we're gonna aim for not getting hit by the tail, but that's kind of hard to do because this is going to take for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Don't get hit by laser. That's something important we should not be get hit by. Don't get knocked out, aka don't get killed, I believe. And treat burns, that's what we're gonna do most of the time, and life stealing. But yeah, enjoy the battle, and hope you guys have some good runs yourself when you try to solo or when you play it in parties. So starting off early on, I would say what I did over there is I did the charge with him. So having that knockback immunity charging with me, I won't get knockbacked, but at the same time I'm gonna keep my stacks up. Another tip is if you're a little bit unsure that you're close enough to do the groundbreaker, my recommendation would be do a jump and ground break on the floor. That usually helps out. Seems like I cancelled my lifesteal in the middle of the animation, but that's all good. No big threats currently. Some time in. We're still on 10 stacks, we haven't really lost the stacks, so I'm just waiting it out, baiting him to come down, smack him. We had 0.3 seconds remaining of that 10 dark stacks aura, so that was pretty lucky. Try to save as much stamina as you can with your cross slash. That's the most important part, because that's the only ability that allows you to travel through the boss when you attack. Gonna bait him to left side. My recommendation would be using cross slash twice or once, so you have at least one remaining, and use that to, you know, dodge away from attacks or dodge through the boss. Once you use two void slash, cross slash, I would recommend going for the void slash instead. We got 2 stacks. So having 2 stacks of fire is a bit risky, because we're getting close to that point and we're gonna lose the stacks obviously for the 10 stacks. But I do prioritize over my own safety, over the I prefer prioritizing my own health and safety over the Dark Aura buff, because at any time, I don't know which HP threshold, but he will start to use the shout to stun you. And the stun is something that you don't want to get when you have 2 stacks of fire, because that's going to be the killer move. You may have noticed that I'm using a little bit spin now and then, and the reason for that is I need to manage my spirit. Baiting the boss, he's coming down. He's gonna be charging up. He's going to the northeast corner, he's gonna be on the northwest. Time in the groundbreaker, because I was about to lose my Dark Aura stacks there. And losing Dark Aura stacks there would really lower my DPS for the run. Another tip here is to stand in the corner over here. You won't be hit by the tail, so that's a good spot for ranged DPS to keep DPSing him while not moving too much when he does the fart, or should I say the tail thingy. Another part is, I'm gonna show it on the right side where he usually stands, and he would use laser. That's also a spot where he can avoid. So far 10 minutes and we're up to 6.5 million. did get our first knock-up, which doesn't do anything for the missions or mission goal, but it kind of sucks that you get knocked up as a berserker. Because I have my OCD of not getting any CC'd, because I prefer putting that personal goal of mine using, Groundbreaker and Cross Slash to avoid any kind of CC from the boss. Boss is gonna aim down, that's good. He's gonna move up. We're gonna have to wait for him doing the U-turn. Keep the 10 stacks, he's going northeast. I'm saving my Cross Slash, so I'm using Void Slash to travel faster. Avoid that. Try not to be inside his hitbox. Another trick is to stand as a ranged DPS. You can stand on this corner, sort of, at the edge, and you will not take any hits from the tail as well. Another tip there, basically. If the boss decides to do the AoE stun right now, the only option for me to be safe from the AoE is to actually jump off and hang on the walls to the right. I'm really bad at doing that, but I try to bait the boss as much as possible to be on the edge of left side or on the southern part, because you can just drop down and avoid the AoE stun. Nice, he's gonna keep going to the right. He's going left now. I got hit. Bait him down. He's gonna do a U-turn. He's gonna be on the southwest. We're not gonna be able to get this 10 stacks. So back to refilling. The rotation goes on. Grab. Tail thing. Gonna stand on the southern part. Free DPS. And this is what I meant with having the edge of south and western part. You don't have to worry about any of his attacks, you just drop down and he won't be able to hit you. Very tedious to solo, obviously, but you can get to see, how I perform with my rotation. Majority of it is gonna be ground smash or groundbreaker. We glitched him a bit. Oh, that's a new glitch, I guess. Getting him stuck. He's doing the U-turn. He's gonna be in northeast. Now this is the risky part. I still have fire debuff, but we should be fine. And I'll showcase the right side. See, 0 damage. But it is a bit risky. You don't want to stand there as a berserker, in my opinion. It really doesn't matter. So he's gonna do the AoE jump. I managed to do it on this corner. So you jump off, climb on the wall, and you won't get stunned. I won't get the 10 stacks because I am preferring to bait him to a location than having him or having the 10 stacks. So we're gonna bait him back down to the southeast. He's back. Hopefully we can showcase the tail swipe or tail fart. So the tail fart over here is on this side. You stand on the white part and you won't take any damage. And this works as well for assassins or any ranged DPS. So the only attack I would recommend here is either Void Slash or Groundbreaker because it has the range for it. And I believe this is going to take me an hour to actually complete with the current setup that I have with my party gear or with my gear. Hopefully we get to see some laser moves. Let's see, bait him down, smack him, bait him down, smack him, lifesteal. He's gonna do the U-turn. It's gonna be on northeast. Let's see if I can catch up. No, I lost my I lost my stacks due to the burn, or due to the cleansing. Do not like the cleansing part. So if he doesn't use the forge at that point, he's gonna do a double swipe. So make sure to look at his moves as well. I really hate this side, but this is the only side he decides to choose if you're staying, if you're not having party members, for example, because he do prioritize aiming at whoever that's furthest. And me being furthest away, he's only gonna pick one direction. But yeah, this is gonna be slightly long and tedious. Second stun, fall down. And this is what I prefer more, because I can just drop down and not worry about being knocked out. The holes are being unlocked now, so what we could do now is we could spin on the ground. This is what I meant earlier, a safe zone. And this also helps us for the main DPS when we aim for the lasers when he shoots them. We also can bait him while being down here. Keep spinning it down here because we want to keep the 10 stacks. So he decides to do a U-turn. He's going to be on the southeast. I'll wait by spinning down here. Something that you can't avoid is the fart. I call this skill as a fart, but it's a tail slam. You can't avoid that being on the ground. You'll still get hit. The shake it off skill that he does right now, you'll get hit by it as well. Oh, laser. Rawr. So I'm gonna do a risky move. So standing over here, like you did with the tail, you won't get hit at all. That's one of the moves as well that you can avoid. However, you should be worried about when he does the fire breath. You just need to move out. The attack that he does now, I call it headbutt. That ability will also knock you out of the holes. So make sure to go out of the hole when he does that. The headbutt only happens when he doesn't have fire on him. So be prepared for that. Now that he's on fire, the regular dash that he has with the fire doesn't really knock you out. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit long and tedious video. I'll just wait it out. I did a U-turn up to the northwest, another hole. For this part, I usually just drop down. It's very close to the edge, so I might as well drop down. When it comes to the tail slam, laser, going back down to the hole, spin. So my recommendation here is to use 2 grounds breaker before he does his laser attack again on the opposite side. And that will give you a little bit more of a time frame to actually go back down to the hole or go back down to the ferry. Obviously, this can be done fairly quick if you don't, if you have upgraded items. I don't have it, so it's obviously going to take a bit longer. But it's just to showcase how easy the battle is if you're playing it solo and if you practice. It's going to be southeast. Let's see. Spin. Got my 10 stacks. Oopsie, I fell down. That's fine. Laser. Go back up, smack him twice. If he does a laser again, I'll head back down. Nope, he's doing fire breath, but I'll still stay down below. I obviously would leave a timestamp for whenever I do, or for the second phase, so you guys don't have to see the whole, grinding part of the first phase, because I do have to take him down roughly to 50% or even lower to proc the second phase. Unfortunately, I do not want to use any editing because I prefer having a full video, in case someone enjoys watching a full fight. Editing just makes it, look a little bit cheap, and might think that, I've been cheating the way to getting to the second phase or anything. I do want to have it all raw footage. As you have noticed, I am standing close to a hole. That's just in case he does a fire breath, for example, or if he does the laser. You want to have a safe spot. So, like that. Go back up, smack, smack, go back down, spin, spin. Go back up, smack and smack, dodge to the side, attack. So over here, I'm gonna try to stay in the middle. You have more overview and you have the most uptime with the spin to win. He's doing U-turn, gonna be on the southwest. This will keep my stacks up at maximum. Head down, spin, go back up, ground break. Now I have two options to go down. One of the holes or one of the edge by the ferry, which is why I prefer fighting the boss at the south part majority of the time. If he's on the northeast, that's the most difficult spot to avoid moves. Head back down. Spin again. And ground break. So yeah, always remember, use two ground breakers. And if he doesn't use any laser after that, do the third one and then see and wait what he does. But with the double laser move, then you usually could end up doing two ground breakers before you have to go down. If you're having ping issues, I would recommend only doing one and then, wait and see what happens. So I'm gonna try to stay in the middle, but keep myself at the lower part. If I am standing on the lower part, that means he's gonna be using the U-turn towards the upper part most of the time. Laser without a warning. So he's starting to get a little slightly difficult when it comes to that. Now he does the laser with a warning, with the grrr. So at that point I wasn't sure if I should keep staying up. And I usually go back down after 3 ground breakers to keep the DPS uptime at 100% because I can keep spinning under the holes. Pretty sure he's gonna start to dash. Yeah. We'll stay middle, spin, keep the dark aura buff up. This will obviously change a bit depending on the boss or when you're fighting a party, because he will decide to dash around everywhere due to other players being far away or whatever. But we're slowly getting there with this current build, or with this current gear that I have. 0 weapons uncharted, you know, base stuff. You obviously won't do this alone, so do not try this unless you want it for personal achievements. 1, 2, 3. He's going to do the laser. He was a little bit delayed there, so I could do 3 times. 1, 2, go back down, and then 1, 2, 3, and he uses another move. So by now, I think you've probably seen enough of the first phase. Hopefully we'll get the second phase. And I can showcase a little bit more of the fight on the second phase. God damn it, I'm being messaged while I'm recording. But I'll do that later. I'll answer it later. Person name is Easy. Doing a fire charge. I got hit by the fire, unfortunately. But that's fine. We can always use the lifesteal. This gonna be. Ooh, did I just open map? Yes. Oh, that was my bad. Don't panic. If you panic, you're gonna die. That's for sure. So. I did become a little bit quiet there because I had to focus on not getting hit by the tail. But don't panic, you can always lifesteal back. And I accidentally hit the map button because I was going to check something else. Lifesteal back to full health so we feel more secure. So we don't have to call out for Priest, you know. We don't rely on Priest as a berserker. Only for the moments such as Balrog when he does AoE, drain. But for Pyrros, we don't rely too much about Priests or Knights or anything. We can solo this. He might charge now to the... no, never mind. Okay, so I was thinking about he would charge to the second phase. But I miscalculated that, so we lost some stacks. He is gonna go to the southeast. We're gonna have to restack or re-add our stacks. He's actually changing his mind and going to the southwest. Okay, never mind. So while we're here, we're gonna be on the ground, spinning, getting some stacks. Back to the ground break here. Another trick that I learned from Jaden, which is a knight. Obviously he's a friend of mine, or he's been a viewer for a long time, and he learned a little bit, or taught me a little bit regarding the laser attack. So being on the back side of the tail where Pyrros is standing, you can actually avoid the attack by following the opposite direction or moving opposite direction behind him when he does the laser, so you won't get hit. And that's for the 100% uptime. I'm not sure if I want to do that because I'm a little bit rusty doing that strategy. But I'll see if I can do one right now. I totally forgot to mention about it, but we should be fine. He's going northwest. Managed to get my 10 stacks. Very lucky. Let's see, he's doing the laser. So move opposite side and he will, or you're gonna be able to survive opposite side. And that's the maximum uptime if you want to do. But in my opinion, I feel like it's pretty much the same when I spin down below. But if you're playing as a knight, for example, you could do that with your Typhoon Slash, for example. But you can also use Stinging Flurry if you prefer having Stinging Flurry build. You can use Stinging Flurry down below. But if you're playing without it, I would recommend doing the tail thingy on the backside. I need to remember that timestamp, like that's at 32 minutes, so I can make a timestamp regarding the tail movement. We're gonna spin down below and wait for him to finish his charges. Keeping ourselves down below because I don't know what skill he's gonna use. 1, 2, 3, down, and then back to groundbreaking. Go back down. One, two. I'm gonna go down. If I had enough spirit, I would have done the third one, but since I didn't have it, I don't want to risk using it. Well, you also noticed I rarely use the lifesteal now because we have... Oh, I missed the grab. So roughly at this point, 40%, you can grab on him. I'm sorry if I did not showcase that, but I totally forgot about the percentile of the health. So at this part, this is where you do the Priestless run, and my recommendation would be wait for your stamina to be full. After the charge, stand over here, take 0 damage. So the rotation for the Pyrros is doing 2 breaths, 1 laser, 1 breath, and then he does AoE. And when he does AoE, you're gonna go for the DPS there. So over here, we're gonna utilize the new thing that happened in Headstart. They added a hole, and the hole is to avoid the laser, because not many people know about climbing up the wall will help you survive the laser. I can showcase that. So this is the part where he does the AoEs. Since we're playing alone, I'm not gonna bother using Groundbreaker. I'm just gonna spin to win, just to showcase how easy it is to dodge. He does it twice, so make sure to DPS as much as possible. If you're not being targeted in a party, I would recommend just using Groundbreaker on him. We're gonna have to run back. We're losing out on stacks though. So another point is, you can hang on the wall as well if you don't like standing on that spot in the corner here. But this is the fastest way to get back in, so... I'm gonna showcase the laser, for example. Back in the days, you had to do this. But now, since they added an easy way to dodge the laser by going down below in that tiny hole. Another thing I would like to do is to risk it, is to go between the two AoEs that he does. So he shoots on the right, I go to the left, he shoots to the right, I'm going to the left, and then I'm going back to the right, and then I'm going back to the left. You know, you can play around with his attacks. It's quite fun. That's a little bit risky though when you play in a party, because you don't know if they are gonna fuck up for you, because sometimes he shoots, you know, in between you and another character. But yeah, this is the whole fight pretty much. The second phase of this part is fairly simple. You just need to be fast and quick enough to dodge the laser by going down below. But I think we're gonna hit up at 50-minute mark for this fight. Oh shit, I forgot about the... God damn, I missed out the DPS phase. If you do get hit by the fire, for example, don't panic. If you do have 2 stacks, then you probably should panic and use your healing items. But as you can see, I'm very calm. I know the fight in and out, and obviously can survive without worrying too much. I don't even use potions here because I want to try to do it without a potion or potionless run as a berserker. Spin down here. Stay close to the hole at this point because you don't know if he's gonna do the AoE stun. When the AoE stun happens, you need to be down below in that hole. Oh, I thought he would do the AoE stun. Another way for you to play around is to do the groundbreaker in between, but I feel like you're gonna use up way too much cross slash. So don't do that. I would prefer spinning unless your party member is being targeted instead. Oh wait, what am I doing? The fight has been going on for so long that I forget about the phases. I do not keep in mind, or I don't count the amount of breaths he has done or which phase I'm on. Yikes, we did get some hit there from the fire. Lifesteal. What? Okay, lifesteal did not proc because I apparently missed the attack. But we have another chance. Lifesteal. Just going back to the fire. AoE turn. I'm gonna keep the stack up. Will he? No. Never mind. Still quite low on the DPS because we're doing this solo. I do want him to do the AoE stun so we can just go purely on DPS. It's always tedious to avoid the flame breath. But you get a good practice out of this if you do this solo, because you do get to experience all the rotations of the boss. Oh, oh, oh. That's almost 50% of my health, or even more. Ooh. Let's see. Lifesteal? Nice. Wow, this is gonna take a while. I think I'm gonna hit the 1 hour mark instead of 50-minute mark. And obviously this is with the current gear that I have. I mean, I could always upgrade, like every other people do, but I do not want to waste my onyx crystals and materials and mesos to upgrade a weapon that I don't. Well, it's a good weapon, it's just that I don't like my bonus attributes of the weapon. That's the only downside. Another way that I could speed up the fight, which I don't want to risk it, but you can survive the Fire Breath's attack if you time in your lifesteal and using your potions at correct time. That means you're gonna have 100% uptime on the boss, but I do not recommend doing that because you're wasting potions. So doing this without potions, I would recommend just do the cheesy mode of hiding behind the cover. Right, AoE stun, stay in this circle. I mean, stay in the hole before the stun goes off. So my recommendation here would be on the right side. If you guys have been watching my stream, for example, on Twitch, I would prefer being here on the right. The reason for that is there's a hole close, and also I prefer using it for the AoE here by standing on the right side. Spin. Oh, this is gonna be rough. 2 stacks. That's fine. If you're a little bit scared, I would recommend staying in the hole until he does the AoE. Nothing to be afraid of though, but as long as you manage to stay within the range and dodge these AoEs, you should be fine. There we go. Laser is gonna come up soon, eventually. AoEs. So, ooh, okay. So if you are in the hole and he does the AoE, you won't be able to see the indicator of the AoEs or the circles. So be careful of that. Always stay on the same tile or same level as the boss. Oh, I'm missing the Groundbreaker. I also missed my lifesteal because his hitbox is a bit weird. When he shows his tail, his hitbox is a little bit further in, and that usually means you will miss him. Yikes. That's not good. Gonna lifesteal here. Keep myself calm because you don't need to panic. A good spot is obviously on the right, like I mentioned. You can use the thingy on the right side. I don't know what's the word for it, but the fire thing on the right. You can use it as a placeholder where you hide or avoid most of the attacks. So that's usually at the safe spot until he does the tail attack or tail slam. Gonna have to do the left and right strategy now. We're still hitting him, but we're going left and right with the spin for the 100% uptime DPS. He's thinking a lot. And the reason why I can hit him with Groundbreaker is because of the big AoE that we have when he's showing his tail. Left and right. Left, right. Left and right. Oh, too early. Okay, time to panic. So I got hit twice, and he's doing the laser. 1, 2, lifesteal, back down. 1, 2, 3, go back down. Lifesteal. Oh, did not work. 1, 2, go back down. 1, 2, and he's doing AoE. So the most annoying part, or the difficult part here is, oh wow, avoiding the laser is the most difficult part, I guess, because sometimes he just does that Another annoying part is the AoE field, because sometimes it lags a bit or you just don't have enough time. Try to lifesteal as much as possible when it passes you with the laser part. And this is the reason why Spin to Win is much better than Void Slash as well for the second part of the fight. Yeah, we're hitting up to 1 hour video. I'm sorry for that. I will leave timestamp in the description below if you want to check out on different areas of the fight. Obviously, it's a lot of repetitive things that you can see here. Ouch, they get hit. But it's only one fireball stack, that's all good. So if you look on the mission, I haven't gotten knocked out, haven't gotten hit by the tail, haven't gotten hit by the laser. AoE fires, etc. does not count into the missions, so that's all good. But he repeats the moves quite often. When he does the laser, make sure to go back down after 2 or 3 groundbreaker. That's the only thing you have to worry about. Every time he does a laser, always be wary of the continuous lasering. It would usually be 3 to 4 times. It really depends. Oh, seems like he's at the low health now, where he keeps lasering. That's all good by me. I prefer that over AoE. Oh, speaking of AoE. It's gonna take some time to practice regarding the spinning part here, because the character movement is a little bit wonky when you spin. So be careful of that. We're getting closer. 273k health, and we're smacking him for roughly 50k per hit. 46k. Maybe I'm exaggerating with my DPS. 47. 44. Yeah. Let's see. 42, 40, 38, 62 with a crit. Oh, there's 150k, 50k, 50k, come on. Oh, circles. $160k. Laser. Easy. But yeah, we're reaching to 55-minute mark, most likely. Gonna play a little bit safe here so we don't lose out on the mission goals. We did fail, well with my OCD I would say it's a fail video, considering I did not grab on the boss when he entered the second phase. But yeah, I've done the solo part now for Pyrros, which I'm kinda happy about with the Headstart gear that we have right now. Just to showcase for the new people that joins Maplestory 2 that this boss is really easy, especially if you're playing as a berserker. Laser. Right. He has 500k remaining. Oh Laser again. Come on, Rob Breaker. More damage. Ugh. Oh. I don't want to end it with a spin kill. God damn it, AoE. Why you force me? Groundbreaker. There we go. Less than 56 minutes, but there's the solo kill. A rank. Not getting hit by anything. You get 870 if you finish everything here. The only thing that you won't have is the 7-minute mark where you kill it within the 7 minutes, and that requires you to have better gear, obviously, having unenchanted weapons. Let's see what we got. Physical attack for bow. No, we can't use that, and obviously you can't sell this. You can't give it to your alts, so this is going to be dismantled. Gloves, they're bad, so dismantling these. So for the last part of this video, I will talk about is these boxes. If you are not using the items, dismantle them. You get onyx crystals and you get boxes. So boxes is like a reward for you. If you complete it 4 times, for example, you get 4 armor pieces that you don't need. Break them down with enough. Yeah, I can double click on it, but with enough shards, if you have 40, you can double click on it, and it will open up a pop-up. It will tell you, yeah, you want to make it into an armor box. Open it, and with armor box, you can choose if you want to, you know, the remaining equipments that you have on your character. Pick, you know, the chest and the pants first because they give the highest gear score. But then, you know, when in the end, when you reach the purple stuff, my recommendation is to continue to do this. Look at the bonus stats, bonus attributes, and see if they give you piercing or damage to boss stats. So for example here, on the gloves I have physical piercing, really good stats, so keep that. For accessories, well, I did not get any luck on that. You can get accessories as well, the fragments. But for weapon, I would recommend piercing, and then having, you know, any other stats that you're lacking of. And the goal is to have 30% piercing, around 10 to 15% physical piercing. If you're a mage, then it's 15% or 10% of magic piercing. And the next stats would be critical damage, because every time you crit, you're going to deal more damage. And then later on, we'll go about having bonus boss damage and total damage as the last stats that you want to focus on. Another thing you could go for is accuracy. You may have noticed I missed a lot of attacks. That's crucial when you have a high cooldown of your skills. Use the accuracy to, you know, you can get it from an archer when he uses sharp eye. That's a bonus for you. But if you do have, you know, any other stats that you come, if you're too tired to farm, you can have accuracy as well on your gear. But you are gonna lack of damage otherwise if you do not pick piercing or physical magical piercing, critical damage or bonus damage. So prioritize whatever you need the most. Obviously I didn't mention it, it's these 2 magical stats that you want to have for endgame dungeon. So good luck with your solo runs if you guys are attempting this. This is going to be a 1 hour long video. I'm going to leave timestamps in the description, and feel free to comment and share your luck or screenshot or whatever. But I'll see you guys in the 60 content, I believe, or in the next video where I cover up a little bit more about night builds and such. But yeah. Take care, have a good evening, good night for me, because it's now past midnight. I'm gonna go off and sleep, so bye bye.